Ladies and gentlemen, so we have witnessed three interesting speeches so far, and now it is time for me to clash with my opponents and bring up some constructive arguments. So the main theme in this debate has been freedom. We on side opposition believe that as long as we are not harming society, we have the right to freedom, and we have the right to freedom of choice. Therefore, we have the right to choose the gender of our children. So, before going any further into my constructive arguments, let me review my worthy opponent. Okay, so firstly, the main point that they have been constantly bringing up is playing God. They believe that if we are choosing the gender of our children, we are playing God, and that we are choosing everything. It will go down a slippery slope into choosing their facial characteristics and their physical characteristics. However, we believe that as we are just choosing gender in order to even out the imbalance of genders in society. We believe that we are not harming society. We are not harming society. And then, in a POI earlier, they asked that, okay, so when I stated that as long as we are using the God-given gifts given to us we are using our brains, we are using the scientific capacity given to us by God, that we are not playing God. We are just using His gifts in order to improve the human way of life and in order for humanity to survive. Okay, so now that that point has been taken care of, let's go further into my refutation. Okay, so they said that it will be unconditional love, and that parents will only love one gender more than the other. However, we disagree. We disagree that every parent loves their child the same. That this is basic human nature. That parents love each other the same. Yes.
So then why are we even having this debate if parents love their children the same? That if parents love their children the same, then it shouldn't matter what gender the children are.
Okay, the reason we are having this debate really is because of the gender imbalance in our modern world. Because in China, for example, there's so many more males than females. So we believe that it is a necessity for human survival that the gender imbalance is dealt with, and that we are able to choose the gender of our children in order for humanity to survive and for humans' life to improve. Now, also, when we brought up the excess males, they brought up the excess males on Earth and said it is because of China's one-child law, and that is similar to our ideology, that we have to choose the gender of our children. We can do that. That they seem to think it is related with the one-child law in China. They seem to think that has brought up the excessive males in China. However, we disagree. We disagree, and we believe that as long as we are choosing the gender of our children, we won't have these imbalances in society. It will be even society, which in total will help us improve the human way of life. Yes.
So then, if this is going to help improve it, then we still have these cultural ideologies that in one culture, one gender is more revered than the other. So is this not just going to increase the gender imbalance?
Well, these imbalances are usually in poorer areas where if you get a female, then you just leave them, you abandon them. However, that is one of the main points of this argument. That if a child is going to be left on the streets to die, then why not change their gender to a male? Well, they will get love, they will get compassion, where they will be treated fairly. This is the main point of our debate, that we believe that as long as it's in our freedom, that we should take care of humanity, whether it be a baby, whether it be an adult, and humanity as a whole. Okay. Then I brought up in a POI that humanity will learn from its mistakes. Humanity will learn from its mistakes, and then they said that humanity never learns from its mistakes. However, these are usually third world countries where these huge massacres have been brought up, and that they don't have the means to study this new science, and they don't have the means to they don't have the means to introduce this new ideology. So now let me bring up my constructive arguments. Okay, so diseases, gender diseases, it's the main thing. A lot of times parents carry diseases that are specifically for certain genders, which, as a matter of fact, really harms the child. So, for example, there's arthritis and heart diseases, which can affect certain genders, and so why not change this? Why not change the gender of the child so that rather than having a male child that will get a heart attack and will suffer from arthritis and lung cancer and all these other diseases related to gender, why not change that baby's gender and change it to a female, where they can recover from these diseases, and they might not even get them in the first place. So it eases the parent's job, the parent might take care of them better, and it eases the child's life, which is, again, this is why our ideology benefits society more than side propositions. Now, they have neglected constantly that they believe that if it's like a lottery, that we should have a lottery, that we should be able to, we shouldn't be able to choose our gender, that we should just be guessing it. So, however, we disagree. We think that if you choose your gender, that as long as there is no harm to society, which I said at the beginning of my speech, we can do this. And then they said that it does harm society, and it harms society because there will be an imbalance in genders, which I touched on again, and yet side proposition has brought it up constantly throughout the debate, which we believe shows the irrelevance and the instability of side propositions arguments. How much time left?
1 minute.
Okay, so to sum up this speech really, so I have refuted with what side proposition has said, and I have shown you why each and every one of their arguments have followed. I have shown you that why our arguments have surpassed the level of theirs, and I have shown you why this diseases argument that I brought up right now has surpassed their argument as well. So in the end, really, our arguments are still standing. Side propositions arguments have failed, and they have shown throughout this debate that their arguments are irrelevant, unstable, and that they've shown that they are not ready to make decisions for our Western society. Thank you.